Okay, so I know we've gone over a lot of information about climate change, but I have just a little bit more I want to talk about. And one thing I want to talk about is just the climate meetings. And some of you may be familiar with these. They call them the COP meetings, and COP stands for Conference of Parties, which I know makes it really obvious what it is. But normally, these meetings occur in November or December every year. They skipped the 2020 meetings due to COVID. I think they felt it was really important to meet in person, so they just decided to delay them until November 2021. They will be in Glasgow and they'll be called COP26, so the 26th Conference of Parties. Usually, all the countries send representatives, and basically, this is where they try to make global agreements about what to do about climate change and how to move forward as an international global community. In 2015 is when the most recent progress was made, and it's called the Paris Climate Agreement. It's where they agreed to targets to limit warming to 2 degrees Celsius. And the United States pulled out of that agreement in fall 2019. We are officially out of that. And Joe Biden has agreed that we will go back in the Paris Climate Agreement once he is president. So Nancy Pelosi has been representing us because the Trump administration was not interested in being part of this, and they're who pulled us out of this agreement. We were originally in the agreement, signed in by President Obama. So that's what happened in 2015 is we made this agreement. It's not really binding. So everybody agreed to targets, but there's no real teeth in this agreement. So if one of the countries doesn't meet or doesn't do what they said they would do, there aren't international ramifications for that besides maybe looking bad. In COP24, they agreed on a robust set of guidelines to implement the Paris Agreement and ways to increase transparency. So this has been a sticking point, this lack of teeth to the agreement, meaning that there's no way to enforce this agreement. And COP25, which happened in 2019, the goal was to finalize the rule book, but unfortunately, they didn't really make a lot of progress. So in theory, that would have been the goal for COP26, which is the one that was delayed because they didn't accomplish this in COP25. And so these are really interesting, very complex agreements. If you watch the Inconvenient sequel, Al Gore's movie, it talks about and has video of some of these proceedings and some of the things that Al Gore did behind the scenes to try and make sure these agreements came to occur. One last thing I wanted to talk about with climate change is something that people often get confused about. Some people think that ozone and climate change are related. They are not related. And I get this on the test sometime, and so I wanted to make sure I was very clear. A hole in the ozone layer does not have anything to do with climate change. Holes in the ozone layer are definitely a problem. They let in more ultraviolet light, which can cause skin cancer. That's clearly not great. However, it does not alter the amount of heat in the atmosphere. That is a different kind of gas and different layers of the atmosphere. So these two things are not related, and I just wanted to make that really clear. So if you're talking about climate change, don't include the word ozone in your test or when you're talking about climate change or anything like that.